Hey y'all, Jessie Petersen here with Let's Make Art, and I love mixed media, I love art journaling, and I'm here to share a bonus project with you that we call Lagniappe. It's a video series where we just kind of throw in some extra content and have a good time together. And this is the project we're gonna make. And it's a mandala that we're gonna draw on our own. This project is a little different than the other ones we've been working on. We'll do a little flip here. We've done this pen and ink one, which we use stencils from this collection here. And we did this one with this awesome texture paste, and we also used a stencil there. And we did this one where we did lots of layers, and we did some cutting from the stencils. But this one, we're not necessarily doing like a stencil in that way. We're gonna draw it and make it our own, which I don't want to be scared or nervous. It's going to be great. And we have Keenan here. He's our camera guy and our cheerleader. And just want you to know that's who's cheering in the background.
Yes, I'm just in the background listening.
So this is our project that we're going to do. And in the Lagniappe series, because it's a bonus tutorial sort of setup, we like to share some extra supplies with you sometimes. Sometimes we like to answer questions. So we're going to answer questions today, and we'll do this project, and then we'll just kind of see where it takes us.
Sweet.
Great. Okay, so we're going to start with our mixed media journal here, and it comes in our subscription box if you're a subscriber. It's also available for purchase, like separate if you want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to just find a blank spread here, fold that back a little bit, and my clip on there. Move this out of the way. Actually, should I show them all the things we've been doing mandalas before we jump in this project?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've had a lot of fun stenciling. I showed you those other 3 projects and just kind of getting crazy with these. These are some postcards I made. We did this for Let's Make Art Matter. I got this one in the mail today. How fun is that? Like right about to film this, and I got one in the mail from Maggie. Isn't that beautiful? I'm not sure which way to turn it, but I think it looks good all the ways. So I had to throw this in there, and she gave me a really cool, cheered me on as far as like my meditation practice, and it really made me happy. So thank you, Maggie.
That's so great.
I even put one on the front of my bullet journal.
I like that.
And then my family and I, we went to Colorado, and I decided we should do mandalas as a family. So if you have other supplies, you can keep going with this mandala theme. My kids did it with these jelly pens. And there's all these different colored jelly pens that we have available besides the white that we used in our projects.
We have those on our website too, I think.
Thanks. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Available
just
for
saying,
you.
not trying to be salesy, but if they want to try them out.
And for the kids, I just thought it'd be fun to just use watercolor paper. So I taught them, you know, let's just do a wash, and then we did the stencils on top of that. So my girls had a lot of fun making these, and we did something together as a family. And we're going to send them to Grandma. So a lot of fun there. Yeah. So, okay. We got more things to show them, but we can get in this project first.
We can show them all the things.
All the things. Okay, so I'm going to just put this. This stencil is in our stencil pack. There's a lot of stencils in here, but this one's kind of looks like a target. So you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? Well, it just helps you get the kind of
focused.
Yeah.
That's what a target does.
Yeah, it does do that. I'm going to grab this washi tape really fast just to get this down. Some cool washi tape. All right.
Makes me think of Christmas.
It was just here. I bet Sarah used it last.
Probably.
Our watercolor artist. Looks cool though. Okay, so we're going to grab our pencil, and we're just going to outline these areas. Now you can decide how big you want your mandala to be. If you want it to be smaller, then you can do that. If you want it to have a thicker inner ring versus a thinner one, you can make those choices. This is your mandala. It's all about what you want. And this is fun because this stencil just gives us a nice sort of way to line up the things that we want to embellish it to make it our own. If that makes sense. So I'm just penciling this little outline in.
Outlines are so fun.
Yeah.
Stencils are fun.
Stencils are fun. It just kind of gives you, it's like, just kind of gives you a little more confidence sometimes when you're making something. You could do this with a compass too.
A compass?
Mm-hmm. You got a compass, and you can do some circles and whatever size you want.
Ooh, that's cool.
Oop. We're just doing pencils, so it's all right. Let's see if I got it all. Oh. What am I missing?
I don't know.
This. Let's see. Did that do it? Cool. Oh. This makes me think of the Simon Says game. Did you ever play that? Or if it's, I don't know if it's called Simon Says. It was like a little, in the 80s, it was like a game where you could press the button and the color and the sound in a certain order.
Oh, it was like a pattern. You had to follow
It was
the pattern?
round and it had like, it would go like a beep here and a color there, and you just had to like memorize the pattern.
Yeah.
What was that called?
No idea.
I mean, they still have them just because they're out. I mean, it's still a thing, I think.
Sure, they still exist.
Can't.
Much like the 80s.
Cool things happened in the 80s, all right?
They did?
All right, so we got that. And now you can just go crazy and embellish. And, oh, I did this. Sorry, gotta go back. I just get so excited, I forget stuff sometimes. All right, I want that circle in the middle. All right. Okay, so then you can kind of erase these lines to make it continuous. Oh, I was pushing my lid while I was erasing. All right, so you can just sketch that. There we go. You know, and you can just wing it. You guys don't need to be too precious because this is a hand-drawn mandala, so it's going to be fine, right? And I think it looks cool when it looks hand-drawn. It's not so perfect.
I do too. I remember you mentioned that the, I don't know where, but mandalas are drawn on the beach.
On that they did those sand ones?
Yeah, the sand ones. And I saw pictures of some on the sand recently, and they were amazing.
I know somebody asked me, like, why would they put all that work into doing that? Like, just to have the wind blow it away. And that's the whole point of it. It's like this, you know, this idea of letting the idea of impermanence be like something that you're really thinking about.
Yeah. I think it also helps with removing fear. If you know it's just going to be, if you're going to do another one at another point, it's okay if it gets erased.
And just being okay with, like, I'm making this in this moment.
Yeah.
And I don't need to have anything to show for it later. And this moment is what I have. Right now, we're not guaranteed anything. We don't know what's going to happen. And that's a good thing to think about sometimes because it helps us prioritize our life and our thoughts. And I might seem like a calm person, but I really actively look for these sort of activities because I'm not always super calm. Not always. Something I get worked up about some stuff. Sometimes it doesn't really matter. So this helps me get perspective.
Helps change your posture.
Oh, that too. Make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Let's see. Okay. Oh, we got to get this one. So I drew those in there so you could see it, and now I'm erasing them so you know that they don't need to be there. Those little lines that made it look like a target. So now we just got circles we're working with, right?
Nice.
And let's see. You can add these sort of shapes on the outside, just little half circles. I like to draw them like this. Is that going to be weird on the camera?
Only if we can't see it. And so far it looks great.
Okay. So I was like trying to keep my hand like still trying to do an arc, and that was hard.
It's tricky.
Yeah, I'm just sketching these out. They don't have to be perfect. Your brain is going to read it, how a pattern is like something your brain kind of goes towards seeing anyway. And then when we go for it with a pen, we can slow down and make it that however you want. Okay. There we go. So I'll just make this one a little skinnier to meet that one.
Nice.
There we go. Okay, so we're on our way. And then we can do these two paint color, and then we could do inside of this one. I mean, I love the half circle. You can do all kinds of different shapes. And you can even let some of these other stencils inspire you. You could do more triangular things.
Ooh, yeah.
Teardrop.
Maybe leaf shapes things.
This can be as simple or as intricate as you want it to be. As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. And this is like, you know, one of those things where it's kind of just this repetitive thing, you know, when you're making this. So I like doing this when I have that sort of mental space where I just want to do something relaxing and repetitive and I don't want to use my brain a ton. And that's something I found as about my creativity. There are certain times of the day that I'm more able to be in the flow and be creative. And I've been trying to take advantage of that time more. And then there's later in the day, I want to do more detail kind of things instead of coming up with like a whole concept. And that's something you can be aware about yourself in creating and still be able to fit in doing the things you love, knowing kind of how you're feeling at the time and what you're drawn to doing. Whether it's detail work after you've created a concept or really getting in there and deciding something. Now this one you can go back and do a shape inside that and it'll kind of start looking like a little half rainbow or like eyelet lace or
like
whatever
that.
you're thinking. And the fun thing about this is it can look mine can look so different from yours. You guys can come up with all kinds of fun things with just this little outline to work within. Okay, so there's that. And then, let's see. I did lines out of here. Oh, and I did triangles. Let's do that. So I'm gonna start with a simple triangle like this, and then I'm just gonna keep repeating that. And we're penciling this in, so if you aren't feeling what you did, you can erase it. It's no big deal at this point. We're just having fun. But again, it doesn't need to be perfect. I just feel like reminding you that because I need it too. I'm always like, oh, that one looks a little wonky. It's fine. It's fine. I can tell myself it's fine. I can tell you it's fine.
I always make lines a little wonky.
Have you got a chance to look through the group and see all these amazing pages they've been making?
Yes. There have been several that are just amazing.
I'm just blown away by the talent and people's creativity. There's one that was like the mandalas were made into trees. That was really cool.
I also like seeing all the flip throughs.
Oh yeah. Some people really like to see all the pages in a still photo, but I like seeing it as a video to see the continuity throughout the journal. I think that's kind of fun to see, like how one idea progresses to another. So yeah, I like the flips, I like the photos. And right now we've been doing the self-care challenge too, because
oh, that's right.
September is self-care week. or self-care month. We're doing a week challenge on that. So people have been painting rocks, which is really cool. All kinds of things.
I like the rock ones. I like most of the art. I like the one on the leaf.
Yeah, so some people didn't have access to rocks and they were doing it on other stuff. There's one on a flower petal. Man, so many cool ones. Okay, so we have our outline, and that didn't take too long, right? Like, pretty quick. And we can start painting. That's my favorite part, is the painting
Yes.
part. All right. So, just gonna get some of my colors on here. Got our liquid acrylic aqua. Just a little bit. Got our purple and some white. And I'm just going to use my number 8 brush. Get it wet, get some color on there. But I'm going to do these ones first.
I like that color a lot.
Aqua. Feels
I like
calming.
it a lot.
This is one of those things that I just like think is fun to just get lost in the making of it and put on some music and just go for it, you know? got a lot accomplished at this point. We're laying in our colors. I just want to point out that the darker blue just takes a couple extra passes of paint in order to build that opacity to get that contrast between the light blue and the dark blue, but you do whatever you want there. And we'll just keep on painting. Next we'll do the inside purple here. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my pen on these outer edges while we let this part dry. done a lot here with this mandala, and it's just been so nice to just focus on the details. Now let's do the page in the background with a little purple and blue.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, and you may find that your paint dries when you're in the details, so you might add a little more paint if that happened to you. Ugh. I just love it. It just takes me away for a little while, just working those details. I'm just going to do an up and down kind of swishy kind of thing here. All with our number 8 brush.
That is a very versatile brush.
It really is.
Versatile?
Versatile?
Versatile like a turtle?
Mm-hmm.
Versatile? Like haven't
Whoa,
seen you
I
in
just
a
hit
while?
the black on accident. I forgot I had black over there. We gotta make this work.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna work. You've got it. It's gonna be magical.
So I was trying to decide if I wanted to use black. I don't know. Just do a darker blue around that little spot. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Thanks.
Kind of gives it that feeling of when you're driving in the vehicles and you're going down the roads and you just see things whizzing by, you know? That's what it's like. Maybe if you fell asleep first.
Oh, that's a good sound effect. I do wish I was good at sound effects. So we'll go back in between all those details in a minute, but just like doing these big swashes of color. You can even do a little white. Bring some lighter values and some spots. Just having fun. Just having fun. I was just lifting up my page. Now, if you wanted to put wax paper or something under there so you didn't have to worry about getting it on your other page, you could do that. My other page is a similar color, so if you get it on there, I think it's going to be all right because we got that in the background. And you can go as dark or light as you want on this background. It's up to you.
Might have to warn people that it's around lunchtime while we're filming this, and there may be belly growls.
Yeah. I had so much fun making this the first time I forgot that it takes a little bit more time to make it. And Keenan's always talking about food, whether it's lunchtime or not. So, I mean,
true.
Is that really a surprise?
It's always a meal time. I have a meal time after breakfast called
Second
snack.
lunchies.
Second lunch 11sies.
Yeah, I was like trying to remember what is it?
I wish I actually had a real snack time name.
Secondies. I'm trying to think of stuff. Lunch, brunch.
What about second breakfast? Ooh.
Just a little, you know. We made this one different, so I might as well just
Yes.
wing it. Have
I'm
some
a
fun.
big fan of that. like that soft purple color. That's nice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's just like a little bit of the blue
Uh-huh.
and a little bit of the purple and some white.
Way to be.
That's how we did it. That's how we did it.
Hmm.
Yeah, this one came out different for sure. That's all right.
I like it.
Now, I really want to make sure we get some time in for those questions. So I could get lost in making this background more fun, but I'm gonna call it quits here in a minute so we can, but I had to just add a little bit of that light purple in there. Sorry, I had to do it.
That's the same color as that left corner?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I just thought for continuity's sake, I should throw it in there.
Yeah.
And just can blend it a little into those other colors if you want, into that little. Okay.
That's nice.
I'm gonna quit, but I think that I will have to come back and play with the details a little bit more after it's dry. And you can also come back and do an outline of white on there, or black with your pen to really make that pop. And you could even add more details like I did on this one, like a little bit lighter stripe there. So just have fun with it. Let it dry if you're gonna go back on with the pen because your hand might smear the paint a little. But it's a fun project. Fun project. All right. Let's get to answering some questions.
Okay. So question number one that I said is most important. I don't know if that's true. Pansy said, do you think Keenan will post his no-bake cookie recipe in our group?
It's most important because Keenan's hungry right now.
I'm so hungry. Actually, someone posted one that's very similar to mine already in our group. The only difference is that I boiled the whole thing for about 15 seconds longer to make the sugar crystallize a little more, so it's not as...
Is that like because you live in Missouri thing versus like another
That's a
area?
great question.
Or
it
does
could
it
be.
affect by, I don't know, altitude or humidity?
Yeah, there's
What
a
are
lot
the
of
factors?
factors. There's a lot.
Or you just, if you want them to turn out like that, you got to make them in Missouri and
I
stop
was
on by.
also using an old gas stove when I cooked them, so who knows? You know, there's a lot more factors.
Some magic, some elements of.
I had a sprinkle of love in every cookie.
Right.
But then the other questions, I'll move on. So Emily asks, will you ever do a live event so we can be creative together? Can we visit the Let's Make Art store and studio?
Emily, thanks for always chiming in with some fun questions. I do want to do a live. I just get nervous. Like, so, I mean, all this stuff that I'm doing with you, especially in September, is all about being calm and finding, you know, a respite for, you know, a little bit of anxiety that we might all be facing right now. But that's something that that I want more of my life. Just peace and calm and tranquility. And doing a live kind of intimidates. See, I'm already
just thinking about it.
Intimidates me, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for you guys because I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'll just push past the fear and do all the things that I encourage you to do when I do it.
Nice. That's great advice.
Okay,
question number 3. Jamie is asking, will you ever include technique cards in the box with directions or templates for the lagniappe?
Oh, well, the lagniappe is something that I like to do. So, okay, our production cycle is, you know, we have to make this stuff ahead of time. And the lagniappe helps me kind of cycle back and see what the group's making in real time. And so it helps me kind of just jump in there and do a fun project with you and let it be loose and sort of adapt to, you know, what y'all are experiencing. So I'd like the lagniappe to be loose in that way and just be bonus. And it may turn into something we're not even doing now. I just wanted the space there to be able to cater to what the needs of, you know, everybody who's following along with us. So
it's also an added bonus that we can do projects like this one today and kind of zoom through some of the more detailed parts so you can do a project and get questions answered.
Yeah.
And it's less time.
Yeah. And I think seeing this project is a lot easier than explaining it in a card too. So that kind of gives us some room there for
added
teaching.
bonuses.
Thanks for that question.
Yeah, good question, Jamie. Okay, Linda wants to know, will you be using India ink in a future project?
Yes, in October.
What?
So lots of people
Sneak
like
peek?
to do, lots of people like, well, I think it's up on the website probably now.
I
don't
can't
know.
be sure
Can't
about
remember.
that. Who knows?
But lots of people like to do ink-based projects in October, and so we're going to do that in
Sweet.
October.
That's exciting. Okay. Sue Sue would love to hear Lois's potty joke that cracked Keenan up so well, and want to know what Mama said about it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so if you don't know what he's talking about there, Keenan does a little coloring with Keenan episode in conjunction with the Kids Box. And if you don't know about our Kids Box and you know a kid artist who would like that, check it out. So my daughter Lois, my chatty little cutie, decided to she was invited to be on that episode with Keenan, and she learned a new joke from her cousin and wanted to share it. I had no idea about any of this, hadn't heard the joke before. When they got done filming, they came and found me, and Keenan still has tears in his eyes from laughing.
It was so perfect. It just was so perfectly told by Lois, because she's got such a small voice and she's so little, and
she's 5, so even just being
cute.
able to remember the sequence of a joke like that is really funny. And it's not. It's like a literal joke about a potty. It's not like an inappropriate joke.
Yeah.
But for a minute, my heart skipped. I thought,
so
what
funny.
have we done? What have we done?
It was so funny.
So
we
funny.
have the clip saved. We'll probably find a way to share it at some point. I don't know if they might have a plan for it.
Oh, I don't know.
Because it's a gem. I just hope that doesn't like get blown out of the water. But I mean,
Well, I know when you build something up and you're in here, it's like
I
whatever.
get nervous about that. But it's I've watched it several times. So
She's a cute girl. I'm proud of her for being able to think of the sequence as a joke and that it wasn't anything inappropriate. That was my reaction. It was
so
oh gosh, what have we done?
Yeah, it was so cute. Okay, Kimberly says, I love the music. Where can I find it in the world? Music meaning?
Oh, like the music we play during our projects and stuff.
I think so, yeah.
We work with some musicians who make music specifically for videos and stuff like that. So that it's not music that's like by a musician that like sells a CD or like, has it on the internet. It's not that type of music, but it is really awesome, and we love being able to have that type of music in our videos. So.
Yeah. And to kind of go along with that, Kelsey asks, random question, who is your favorite musician/band?
Oh.
I know we kind of talked about this before.
We did. We talked about it. So many. I really like lo-fi chill music in the background. So some of this music that I choose for our videos actually is kind of like some music I listen to when I'm painting and stuff. I really like Bon Iver. I really like indie rock music, and my husband does all the work of mining through the internet to find me cool bands to listen to, and I really like his mixes. I grew up listening to jazz and a lot of blues, so that's like kind of my background, and then my go-to, B.B. King, Bobby Bland, stuff like that. So I'm all over the place there.
As you should be. Got to diversify the music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this question, I combined a few questions.
Okay.
This is number 8. So this is, and they all are kind of similarly related. Tyra, Jenna, and Sue all ask questions about brushes or cleaning palettes and stuff like that. So I'll read Tyra's first, then Jenna's, then Sue's, but they're all in the same idea.
Okay.
So Tyra said, how do you clean your palette after using the liquid acrylics?
So this liquid acrylic really does stick more to my butcher tray palette like this than my other acrylics do for whatever reason. I think it's because it's thinner, it dries quicker, and then it really like adheres. I mean, this is really great for other surfaces like, the front of a journal and things like that, but it also makes it a little bit harder to clean that palette. So I use a dish scrub brush, and on the back of that dish scrub brush, it has almost like a little scraper thing. And so yeah, I use that in soap to scrape it, scrub it. And if I've left my palette with paint for a little bit, which I have done, I've put it aside and forgot about it. Sometimes I need to just soak it in some water for like a little bit, like you would do a dish that's like a little extra grimy, and then it washed right up nice and clean. So I have found that these are a little bit harder to wash out of the pan, but the pigment is so brilliant that it's worth the work,
And
I
it's
think.
so fun.
Yeah.
And then, so Jenna says she'd love to understand more about paintbrushes. Should I be using different brushes for watercolors versus acrylics versus gouache? This is her first month, and she's loving art journaling. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so acrylic paint can be a little harsher on your brush because it dries and it's not water soluble. If you don't wash it quickly, it takes a little bit of, friction to get it clean, which that friction will wear on your brush over time. And so if you want watercolor brushes to react the way that you want them to do in watercolor, I would suggest not using an acrylic on that brush. I like to keep my brushes separate, and I picked these Princeton Select ones because they're a different color and they're quality for mixed media, and I keep them separate than from my watercolor. So
Nice.
good question.
And then Sue Estenson Johnson. We have a couple ladies in our group named Sue, so
Yes.
I want to make sure we know who we're talking about. Any suggestions for carrying and cleaning stencil brushes?
Oh, same. So
Same.
I use water and soap, and I don't have a stencil brush right by me, but I take the stencil brush and I just kind of do like this with the soap and the water, and then I put it under water and just check till it runs clean, like the water in my hand is clean and the brush doesn't have pigment coming off anymore. So
Nice. Okay. Question number 9, also a 3-parter.
ooh,
Darlene says, in December, will the tutorials be in the winter or Christmas theme? And Rebecca and Bethany, Bethany has one that's a little different. I might make that question number 9
okay, I'll answer
A.
Darlene's question. Thanks for
Okay.
that. It is going to, I'll give you a sneak on December. I feel like 2020's been quite a year,
It
so
has.
we're going to do some year in review art journaling that way. So it's going to be all over the place.
Nice.
And, oh man, there's some fun products coming for that one. I think you're going to get a kick out of that we've not done before.
Sweet. So then with hers, I added Rebecca, who said, since we are heading into the holidays, what is your favorite holiday?
Oh man. I mean, I love to celebrate. I love parties. I used to even design party stuff, like for some different stores. But I think the stuff that I like to design the most, that I have the most like decor of, is probably Halloween. But I do love Christmas. Christmas is fun. Christmas also stresses me out because it's like this deadline to do something nice for everybody on your list.
Yes.
It's like a little anxiety about that. But Halloween, there's no anxiety. It's just candy and decorations and picking out costumes, which is all really fun. Yeah.
Nice.
What about you, Keenan? What's your favorite?
Well, my favorite.
Your
My
birthday
favorite's Christmas
/ Christmas.
/ birthday, but
Good.
yeah, it's the same day if you aren't aware.
Yes. Isn't
Same
that
day
fun?
for me. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and then I guess with that, Bethany said, "I've heard you guys have Art Mondays. What was the theme this week?"
Oh,
We really don't have a theme. Everyone kind of just does their own thing, I think.
Yeah.
Brock and I occasionally, we play music together. I play piano and Brock plays guitar.
so we have some ambient.
Yeah, we've got some
happening.
music going on in the background. Rarely do we sing, but yeah, I think everyone kind of just does their own thing. What'd you do this last week?
We worked on some rocks for the self-care challenge.
Oh, fun.
Mary tried it out, so that was a lot of fun.
Good for her.
Yeah, it looked good. And she's going to share it. She probably already shared it on there. So
She did? Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, this is a big question, and I think it includes a flip through, so be prepared for that. Actually, it's a long question.
Okay.
Siri says, art journaling can be intimidating, but I love your style, Jesse. It is so relaxed and doable. Can we see a flip through of your art journals, please?
Okay, so I should have brought more. I grabbed one because I was thinking it was related to the mandalas. So one thing that I like to do is sometimes I like to work in these journals and work out ideas, along with you, and then I will take those ideas a little further, a little different direction, and see what happens. So this journal has some quotes I've been illustrating of playing with gouache and layering. This, you'll probably recognize, this is a gouache from the August box that I just did another layer. Thought I can come back and work in that. And here we are again with the mandala in a different size. So this is more of a square journal. And I wrote kind of what I was feeling at the time instead of the quote. And I just had a little fun. So, yeah.
Nice. And that, you did one of those, it was we have a print for sale of it,
Oh,
right?
yeah, this one.
That first one,
You
right?
can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending.
Nice, I like that. Cool.
And yeah, no, we had another journal cover. All right.
I don't know.
Well, I think there's a question related to
There
that.
is.
So
I don't want to read it. Charlie says, can we see a flip through of your journal and maybe Keenan's too?
okay, so
This is my journal.
I think you even mentioned that you were working on this in one
I
of
was.
the other videos.
Well, I may have. I was excited about it because, well, it turned out really cool, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm touching it because it's like that texture paste.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, this is what Keenan used on it, sterling silver modeling paste. So if you
Yep.
like that fluffy paste that we used in the other journals, this project, this is kind of like that, but it's silver.
It turned out really cool.
It dries a little more matte if you can see that. And do you want to tell them what that number is about?
So that number is from one of my favorite video games. It's called Overwatch. And the 76 is from my favorite character, which is Soldier 76.
I love it.
Yeah.
And now, what did you use? A paint pen on the edges?
Yeah, so I used that paste, or I don't remember the name of that stuff.
Sterling silver modeling
Sterling
paste.
silver modeling paste. And then I used a red Posca pen, the acrylic paint pen, and then I also used a white acrylic paint pen.
Let's just peek in
Okay,
here.
well, there's
Oh, yeah.
my lettering's not the great. I actually like this page. This is my favorite page.
If you avoid the conflict to keep the peace, you start a war inside yourself. That
Yeah.
is deep thought, like
Yeah.
that. Did you use gouache on the back of this?
I don't remember.
I'm
I
not
think
good.
I actually used acrylic paint.
Oh, I'm not going to keep flipping. I won't embarrass you,
No,
but
you're good. You're
Keenan's
good.
doing things.
Thanks. Okay, and then the last question is another three-parter, but it's specifically about collage paper.
Okay.
So I'm going to read Sue Brown's comment because I think you should address something she says in here. Sue Brown says, is it possible to get a few sheets of each collage paper? I'm always afraid to use them differently than you do in the tutorial, so I have enough for the next week's project. So I wait until almost the end of the month until all the tutorials are out, but then I am so far behind I never complete the journal.
Sue, I can relate to this because this is why I say don't be precious, because I have to tell myself all the time. If there is some sort of art material that I'm really excited about and it becomes precious and my eyes are like, I'm like, man, this is just so awesome and there's this limited amount, then it gets me stuck and then I can't do anything and I get frustrated. So yeah, I get that. And I don't want anybody to feel stuck, especially if it's over the paper, because I made the paper. I don't want that to be so precious. So don't be precious, but also I am working on making a collection of papers that you guys can continue to use and work with. So that's coming soonish.
Soonish.
I'm still working on it, but I'm glad that you asked that because I don't want you to be precious and I want you to be able to have more paper if you'd like to have it. And then it won't be this thing that you have to be like special and like worry about messing it up or not having enough. I have anxiety about not enough time, not enough stuff, not about, so let's not have that. Thank you so much for sharing that. That might have been like hard to share, so thanks, Sue.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid.
No.
You can do it.
No, don't be precious.
Don't be precious. Okay, that was it. I'm all out of questions.
Thank you so much for being here with us and following along on our Lagniappe, where you never know where we're going to go.
True.
Or what we're going to answer.
Or say.
And I just think this whole mandala, exploration that we've done and trying to find mindful practice, it was a lot of fun. And I know there's still people working on their projects and sharing, and I want to see those. And I want to say, you can always come back to these techniques in different colors and different paint, and they can be incorporated in future journals. It doesn't have to be over. You can keep on going on rocks, on whatever you're thinking, and I can't wait to see what you're doing. I love that about our group of people that are painting along with us that you can interact with on our Facebook group. It's just so neat. I'm inspired by the things that you're making, and we're inspiring and cheering each other on. And you can find that at the Let's Make Art Journals Facebook, or you can find a hashtag in Instagram for a lot of these projects people are sharing there. Also, Let's Make Art Journals. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for interacting with us with these questions and making things along with us. I just love it. That's all we got for today.